Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day, and the recitation for the day is the 36th stanza of Jup Bani, which we will recite as follows. Gyan khand meh gyan prachand, tithe naad vinod kod Anand, sarm khand ki bani roop, ਤਿੱਥੇ ਘਾੜਤ ਕੜੀਏ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਨੂਪ ਤਾਕੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਥੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ ਜੇ ਕੋ ਕਹੇ ਪਿਛੈ ਪਛਤਾਏ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਘੜੀਏ ਸੁਰਤ ਮਤ ਮਨ ਬੁੱਧ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਘੜੀਏ ਸੁਰਾਂ ਸਿੱਧਾਂ ਕੀ ਸੁਧ. A short pauri, the third of the fifth realms or stages of consciousness that we are considering, the progression of the mind to realize its essential self. And the impression one gets is that it is somehow a bridge between the realm of knowledge that we have just considered and the realm of grace, which is to come. Saram, the word saram is translated variously because the word has a Sanskrit or Punjabi meaning implying effort, industry, but it also signifies the Persian for grace, and we feel that both definitions seem to be applicable. I mean, for one thing, the Guru is explaining his vision of spirituality, which is an enlightenment that is based on grace, nadar or karam. At the same time, these stanzas also outline the process for an individual to achieve that enlightenment, and therefore could mean effort. So there's a connection between the effort, the exertion, and the grace involved, and the two kind of go hand in hand. So the first two lines of this stanza are a carryover from the previous verse, summarizing the realm of knowledge. And here the word prachand in the first line is essential to our understanding in this context. It has several connotations, but they all suggest an intensity, a greatness, an overwhelming presence. But the meaning that appears most gratifying and contextual is gale of fire. So knowledge, in the realm of knowledge, realization appears like a storm that blows away the structure of egoic thinking. Kabir ji has a shabad that says the same things. Dekho bhai, gyan ki aayi aandi, sabe udani pramaki tati, rehana maya bandi, where he says that the pillar of double-mindedness collapses, the roof of attachment comes crashing down, and the egg of doubt, spiritual ignorance that is cracked open. What that means is that what started in Dharamkhand as a process of acquiring knowledge through the senses awakens in due course another set of intuitive and mystical faculties that do not necessarily rely on the senses to apprehend the universe. Wisdom here is directly perceived without sensation. And line 2 suggests that in such a state of knowledge, where discursive intellect and intuition amalgamate into an organic whole, the mind is illuminated. In such a state, it attunes itself to the natural melodic harmony or flow, naad, of the universe, and witnesses the endless spectacle of existence with playfulness, binod, and unalloyed bliss, kod Anand. How does this happen? So, in this state, there is an immediacy and a reliability to the knowledge that surfaces in the mind in this organic state. That is not the case when you're relying solely on the senses, because the senses can be quite misleading. But in this situation, what is presented to you or reported to you directly is never false. And what happens then is that the mind begins to appreciate nature's true patterns And that gives it insights into the parallel patterns in human behavior. And the mind comes to trust the universe and kind of goes with the flow, understanding that nature or hukam will invariably take its course. So it appears that in this realm of creative potency that comes from making an effort to shift from the intellect to intuition, from an outward orientation to an inward direction, where the mind then begins to discover its beauty. Saram Khand ki Bani Roop, the currency of this realm, is the fashioning of this beauty. Then we come upon the word Kadiye, which is another important one, and that means to shape. And that includes shaping the mind, the intellect, awareness, and the sense of discrimination, buddhi. It suggests deepening one's connection with the creative force behind everything to become creative in one's life. Tithe Karat Kadiye Bahut Anoop, in this realm, is unmatched beauty, fashioned, carved, sculpted. And Guruji is speechless as he witnesses this beauty that is beyond compare. Takiyan gala kathiyan na jaye, je ko kahe piche pachtaye. Now, lines 7 and 8 are kind of an extension of line 4. In these lines, the Guru explains what are these things of unsurpassable beauty that are being crafted. And he says, Tithe Kadiye, Surt, Mat, Man, Buddh. Here the awareness is heightened, perception is sharpened, and the mind awakened. Tithe Kadiye, Sura Siddha ki Sud. Here wisdom is deepened and transcendental knowledge gained, which is a reference to Naam. So in this passage, we see that there is definitely a connection between individual effort and grace. They go hand in hand. One without the other will not get us to the goal. But of course, in this, grace is the clincher. No amount of individual effort will get us there without grace. We also see that this is really a re-engineering of one's ego self to essentially amalgamate with the subliminal or authentic self that is within us. And it requires an unlearning, a dropping of one's conditioning or knowledge or the lens through which we see the world. We'll also notice that there is a link between this stanza and the Sunay Mane Pauris of Jup Bani. The earlier stanzas had also mentioned the state of mind that comes through absorption, assimilation, and internalization of the Guru's word, Shabad. So this state in Saram Khand therefore represents a transformed mind, which is now an organic unity and in a state of grace. We leave you with this thought until the next segment. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.